Okay, we are live on YouTube and we will do some introductions. We'll start up with Mr. Zupan.
Yes, I'm Bill Zupan, Town of Casanova Supervisor.
Mark Simone, Madison County Administrator.
Pete Walrod, Town of Georgetown Supervisor, Criminal Justice Committee.
Cliff Moses, Town of Eaton Supervisor, Vice Chairman of the Ward.
I'm Bob Mascari, despite what it might say on the screen. I don't think my son signed out of Zoom, so. But anyway, I'm Bob Mascari from the District Attorney's Office.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matthew. I represent the Oneida City School District. I'm the School Resource Officer.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
How you doing, Matt?
Good. Thank you.
And Todd Hood, Madison County Sheriff.
And then we have Art Lilio is on the line. Art signed up for comment period here regarding the police reform. I'll just give a quick overview of where we're at for everybody. This is the final public comment period for the plan. We've had 2 sessions so far, a lot of good feedback from the community in regards to the plan. We've made some adjustments to that plan. Based on the feedback, the plan will go to the Criminal Justice Committee next Tuesday for final review, into the Board of Supervisors on the 9th of March for final approval. And the plan focuses on mental health. A big piece of the plan is on mental health and getting crisis intervention training for our officers, doing a diversion through 911 to mental health. There's some police reporting for issues regarding complaints, and also based on some feedback we got from the public, we added an online function to that complaint procedure as well. And then we're also looking at the possibility of purchasing a records management software system so we can push more information out to the public in regards to reporting out on arrests and that type of demographic data that the public was interested in. So that's kind of the main pieces of the plan in a nutshell, but it's out there for everybody to read the details. And this time we have comment period. So I'm going to turn it over to Art from Canastota, has signed up to speak. And Art, we've been doing 3 minutes per person. So 3 minutes or as close to that as you can get, and you can go ahead and have your comment.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm very happy with Sheriff Hood and the policing of the county by the deputies, and appreciate him getting the accreditation too. I was also very happy with the efforts of his predecessor. Now, looking at this proposed police reform plan, I took a look at Executive Order 203, and parts of it seem to be left out of the proposed plan. So I guess to start off with, could you please, when we do update this thing, is you include all? There's not much of Executive Order 203. Could you include it all in the preamble to the plan, because it mentions urgent and immediate action needed to eliminate racial inequities, but the proposed plan doesn't reference that at all. Executive 203 also talks about developing practices to better address the needs of communities of color. And there's nothing in the plan about that. Executive 203 also talks about local entities tasked to develop a plan for purposes of addressing the needs of those communities and address racial bias and disproportionate policing. There's nothing in the plan about any of that. The express goals that are noted in Executive 203 are ignored. There's no bias-based policing reviews being conducted. No goals to address any racial bias. We're not even looking for it. No goals to address any disproportionate policing. I have to ask, why was the most fundamental aspect of E203 ignored? It's like a blatant disregard of the community of color. To make the analogy, to ignore some of the accreditation standards would get you a failing grade. But please restate that Executive 203 and then do something about the things that have been omitted. I mean, the proposed plan does mention the county's population is 94% white, and the department's racial makeup is noted, but it doesn't mention these goals for the communities of color or racial bias, to study racial bias or eliminate racial inequities. The plan doesn't disclose the racial makeup of the Police Reform and Reinvention Committee or of the County Criminal Justice, Police Safety, and Emergency Communications Committee, where the complaints are supposedly reported. The plan has no documentation of bias-based policing reviews being conducted as directed in E203. I'd also like to say that filing a complaint needs to be easier. The proposed reform plan makes it sound easy breezy, but it's not. Online, the sheriff's website has no apparent link to a complaints form. I couldn't find it. So I'm requesting that you place a link under two tabs, one under the Contact Us tab and another under the How Do I tabs. Further, the locations link on the sheriff's website needs better directions, a site map, something where the walk-in complaints are taken. Beyond the simple wording, the building is pictured is on the north side of the complex. You know, those of us who are direction challenged, a site map would be really helpful. Speaking of the sheriff's website, the online crime mapping was last updated in 2017. Can we get that data for 2018, 19, and 20? I wanted to make sure that these things, have I gone over my 3 minutes?
Yes, you're at 4, but I sense you're wrapping up, Art, so I want to let you finish.
Thank you. Yes, that is correct. These are the most glaring omissions. I'll reserve the rest of the comments. I will turn these into a written statement and send it in. But I needed to mention these glaring omissions and how somebody has restated E203 without some of the most important aspects of it for our reform plan, and you just can't restate what E203 has without being accurate. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, if you could send those written as well, that'd be helpful. We'll look into
Okay.
this stuff. And I've heard, Julie Carlson had some other specific issues regarding the racial bias piece of it, and so we're looking into that as well. But thank you for the comments.
Mark?
And Matt, I don't know if you wanted the comment from Oneida, or if you're just on listening.
Well, Mark, while we're waiting for Matt, I thought Art's comments were well thought out and very thorough. And if he's going to put in some written stuff, I would just ask him to include in there, if you could give us some concrete examples of actual racial bias that's manifested itself in Madison County so we can address them. I think that'd be very helpful.
Thank you, Bob Mascari, Chief ADA. Matt, did you have anything you wanted to add from Oneida?
If you're referring to me, I basically am a liaison for the school district to local law enforcement.
Okay,
But
thank you.
if you'd like my input regarding what my comments are with the Madison County Sheriff's, I'd be certainly happy to opine on that.
But yeah, if you would like, you have, this is open comment period, so if you have anything you'd like to say, feel free.
Sure. Okay. So, like I said, I'm employed with the City of Oneida School District, and I work as a liaison between the school district and the City of Oneida Police, the Madison County Sheriffs, the New York State Police, and the Oneida County Sheriffs. And the reason is because we have schools in multiple districts. And I can tell you that I've used the Madison County Sheriff multiple times for calls for service. And more importantly, anytime we do our lockdown drills, I always make sure I send their lieutenant of operations and patrol an email requesting that if available for a unit to come to assist and observe the lockdown. So they've always been very good with that. So I have nothing but high praise for the Madison County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you. Supervisor, Sheriff, anybody have anything they want to add?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing. So Executive Order 203 is from the governor's office. Let there be no confusion. that executive order is attached to our work. Art, I just wanted to assure you, all this that's going on now is to ensure that we have public input, but that order from the governor's office, it is included in our plan already. And it was up to us to get a group of people together that represents people from the county to get their input on this also. So that's basically what we're doing here. You hit on it 3 or 4 times that Executive Order 203 wasn't mentioned. It is in the plan. There's a link on it, and it's clearly with that link, so anybody can take a look at that. And then all of this is mandated by the governor to talk to people to find out what's going on in our communities, so that we can get input from people like you. So I hope that puts you at rest a little bit, at least easy, that no one was negligent in not putting Executive Order 203 in. That is clearly in the plan.
Any supervisors have anything from the Criminal Justice Committee?
I'd just like to thank everybody, through this process. And we will, as we have in the past, we'll take these comments and review and implement where needed, and thank everyone again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Art, for your comments, Matt, for your comments. Appreciate being able to hold this public comment period tonight. If anybody has anything, anybody watching on YouTube has any questions or further comments, just as a reminder, we are taking written comments at our police reform. The email address is on the county website under the sheriff's reform up until March 1st. We want to look at maybe noon on March 1st, so we have time to make any final changes needed and get it to the committee for review for the meeting on Tuesday. And that meeting will be also recorded, and our board meeting will be live streamed where we'll talk more about the plan. So thank you all. Appreciate everybody's time tonight, and everybody stay safe.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Aye.
Thank you.